Well, the puck dropped for the Northeast Regional play today, and up first was number 1 Providence against number 4 Minnesota-Duluth. Let's take you right in to see some of this action. We start off in the third period with no score. Minnesota-Duluth with the wrist shot, but glove save by Nick Ellis. Minnesota-Duluth fighting off the boards, and they get a slap shot goal from Tony Cameronisi. And they put the Bulldogs up on the board first, 1-0.
And the Bulldogs strike first.
And following that, Providence wrister is off the mark, but Stephen McGarland is there for the shot and goal, and we're all tied up at 1 halfway through the third period. Minnesota-Duluth on the power play, but it is the Friars making moves. Nick Saraceno on one-on-one, but Casimir Kasusoa with the save. But we aren't done just yet. The Bulldogs head the other direction, and Austin Farley is down the ice. He tries to make it 2-1, but it's a great save by Ellis. Ellis finished with a regional record of 54 saves. Regulation wasn't enough. We're in double overtime. Minnesota-Duluth's Carson Coleman gets the game-winning goal. Bulldogs win 2-1, and they're excited to keep playing.
Got the winning goal, which was awesome. I thought, but just both teams battled. I mean, it was what we expected. It was pretty much a classic game that, we got the last bounce, and we get to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in these tight games and playoffs here, every goal is huge. But you know what? It's something that you dream about as a kid, scoring OT goals. So it's a cool experience for sure.
Hats off to Duluth. I think their team reminds me a lot of our team last year. I thought that coming in, that a team that had, got ranked high in the preseason, and they had to work their way through that, and they struggled scoring, but they kept battling, and they're playing great hockey.
It was full of all sorts of records. It was the longest game in regional play, and the 56 shots scored by Minnesota-Duluth were also a regional record, as well as Nick Ellis's 54 saves for Providence. And they will be playing the winner of tonight's second game between Beanpot rivals Harvard and Boston College. Now, BC won the first matchup earlier in the year, and they kind of know each other's styles, but both teams agree that this game could be very different from the one in February.
So I could say that we prepare the same way for every team that we face. And the fact that it's a Beanpot opponent that we're playing, that we've seen them, it benefits us because we know what we're getting ourselves into. We know how good their offense is. It's high octane, and they have a lot of strengths that we need to be ready for.
I think we need to put more pucks in the net. I think in a smaller arena, I think we need to get bodies to the front of the net. It's a little different setup on the ice than we're used to. I think the zones are a little bigger, but there's not as much space behind the net, so everything we got to be putting towards their goal.
Now Harvard, every year we play them, whether it's a Beanpot or just a regular season game, and I think this is Teddy's best team he's had. Certainly Corsulo and Kerfoot and VC are top-end players that form a outstanding line, but whoever we would have played would have had comparable players like that. We are a little more familiar because we see them on a more regular basis. The comfort level is never up or down. We're always uncomfortable going into a game because we respect the other opponents.
Now, at last check, BC was up 3-1 over Harvard, so that is who will be waiting for number 4 Minnesota-Duluth, who just got the win earlier today.
And you guys were there earlier this evening. A lot of action at the DC?
Yeah, there's a lot of action. It's really exciting over there. I think everyone's just really happy to have hockey back in Worcester, to be honest.
That's true. I mean, this is one of the games that Holy Cross, I think, played earlier this year, but this is the most hockey they've seen so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. And you can definitely, there was an excitement in the arena. You could feel the student presence. You could feel just alumni there, and it was a good environment.
And a good Providence game. I mean, tough for Providence, of
course. Tough for Providence, but having Minnesota-Duluth coming out, they were one of the lower seeds, and being able to beat the defending champion, that's huge for them.
Okay, and then the two teams will play tomorrow.
Yes, so Minnesota-Duluth will play the winner of the BC-Harvard game. It looks like BC at the moment, but there's still plenty more hockey to play.
It was 3-0, and then they just added 3-1, you were saying. So that's
Yes, so look forward to that game. We'll see what happens there.
Brenna Wilson, good job. Get comfortable in this spot, you never know. That'll do it for us tonight here on Worcester News Tonight. Brenna Wilson, Andy Madison, let's go Orange. Have a good weekend, everyone.